All right, guys, here we go. We've got bootleg Peter Parker. If you don't know who that is, it's Fa, aka bootleg Joseph. I got bit by a spider, Parker. All right. He's on record saying that Deontay Wilder had a bicep injury. The reason why I didn't talk about this 2 days ago when this first came out is I didn't think it was going to go anywhere. But of course, all the boxing websites keep running it. So I decided to talk about it. Here's the deal. I don't believe anything that Fa is saying. I don't believe it at all that Deontay Wilder went in with a bicep injury because Deontay Wilder, and I believe I made a video about this way back when, because the fight happened February 22nd of this year. So soon after the fight, I believe, maybe within like 2 weeks to a month after the fight, I have a video talking about the bicep injury that Wilder said that he actually had to get, I believe, surgery done on. So Wilder himself said he hurt his bicep, if I remember correctly, in the second round. If it wasn't the second round, he definitely said he hurt his bicep in that second fight, during the second fight, not before, not after, but in the fight. Out his own mouth. And it's just like, man, y'all, I'm getting so sick and tired of the excuses. First it's Fury cheated, now it's an injury, then it's freaking poison water. It just, guys, it's frustrating. I have never seen this before. It is really like Deontay Wilder was a cult leader who said he was the second coming of Jesus. He could walk on water, and when he stepped in the water, he fell straight through because he was just a normal human. That's what happened. It's like people's whole religion has been shattered by this man losing. And the bottom line is this. Do I believe Deontay Wilder can beat Tyson Fury? Yes. Yes, I do. Why do I believe it? Because I know Deontay Wilder can knock out Tyson Fury. But Tony, how do you know that? Because Deontay Wilder put Tyson Fury on his ass twice in the first fight. And really, the 2 times that he knocked Fury on his ass was the only really 2 times that he landed cleanly on Fury. And the second time he put him down in that 12th round, Fury almost didn't get up. So that tells you that Deontay Wilder has the ability and the strength/power to knock out Tyson Fury. Can he do it? It's highly unlikely, but he can. He does have the ability to be able to do it because he's put him down before. So, in the third fight, the trilogy, how do I think the fight will go? I personally don't think there's much that Deontay Wilder can do differently other than catching Tyson Fury with a good shot and knocking him out. Outside of a good shot being landed, I do not think Deontay Wilder can outbox Tyson Fury, and I don't think he can set up combinations to be able to land the big blows that will knock Tyson Fury out. With that being said, I personally, at this point, from watching the second fight, would like to see Deontay Wilder win. Why is that, Tony? Because I watched Tyson Fury do little dirty tactics when it wasn't needed. It wasn't needed because he was already whipping them bad, whipping them like a whip, controlling the fight, beating Deontay Wilder very badly, and he still deployed things where he would put him in a headlock and stuff like that. In my opinion, it wasn't needed. Deontay Wilder was already beat. It wasn't like he needed to do little things to get ahead or to try to tire Wilder out because he was already tired. He was already done. Wilder gained me as a fan in that fight because even though he was getting beat relentlessly, he never gave up. To the point of even when the towel came in the ring, he was in the midst of throwing a punch. So that tells you that he's got the heart of a warrior. So all these people, and I might include myself in there. I don't know if I've ever said Wilder was scared of AJ, scared of Dillian White, but I definitely said he didn't want to fight them. Now, with that being said, after seeing how come forward Deontay Wilder was while he was losing, I believe he's got a lot of heart. So I don't believe he was scared or is scared of any of these fighters. I don't believe it. After seeing how he reacted to a loss, I don't believe he was scared at all. But I don't think technically he is sound. I've said this from the get-go. I know people on my channel have said I flip-flopped because I was against Wilder, then I was for Wilder, and all of that. Initially, I was never really against him, and I was never really for him. My sentiment on how I feel about Deontay Wilder has never changed. He looks like he's swimming without water when he throws punches. Technically, he's bad. However, I did start to change my tune when he kept winning. Now, you could say, well, he was only against tomato cans. That might be true. However, he did beat Ortiz twice. People argued that Ortiz should have beat Deontay Wilder. He was given more time in the corner. So what did Wilder do? He did the rematch. He beat Ortiz in a rematch to solidify the fact that he was the better boxer. So, got to give him credit for that. And then, he stepped up, fought Tyson Fury twice, now about a third time. So even though he might have had weaker opposition, he was starting to step up. And as he stepped up, he came across Tyson Fury and lost to him. A loss to Tyson Fury doesn't mean that you are pure shit, because, again, I will restate what I've said before. Tyson Fury very well could be the best boxer of this era. I still believe that Dillian Whyte can beat Tyson Fury stylistically. I think Dillian Whyte is a bad matchup for Tyson Fury because of how he fights. But outside of Dillian Whyte, I don't think AJ can beat Tyson Fury. I think AJ is too there to be hit. And I see Tyson Fury dancing around AJ like AJ danced around Ruiz in the second fight. Kind of make it look like a Klitschko fight. That's how I see the AJ Fury fight going. But again, it's not 100% that Dillian Whyte will beat Tyson Fury, being that Tyson Fury is now looking like he's going to be more aggressive and go for knockouts versus before he just went for technical outboxing new skills. So again, we saw Dillian Whyte get knocked out. We've seen Dillian Whyte get knocked down, and we've seen AJ knock out Dillian Whyte. So Dillian Whyte is not immune to being knocked out. And if Tyson Fury starts putting on more weight, starts getting better at planting his feet, adding to his punching power, who knows? He might be able to knock out Dillian Whyte, and I could be wrong. I just don't think I am. So again, to come full circle to what the point of all this was is Tyson Fury very well could be the best person of this era. And if he is the best person of this era, then all Deontay Wilder did was lose to the number one guy. Does that mean AJ will beat him? No. Does that mean Dillian Whyte will beat him? No. Does that mean any other top fighter will beat Deontay Wilder just because Tyson Fury did? No. The only way we will know if a top fighter can beat Deontay Wilder is if he gets in there and fights one of them. That's the only way. Now, in this third fight, will Deontay Wilder continue his career if he gets defeated? This is where I think it is highly unlikely. I think Deontay Wilder will more than likely cash out because he's made a lot of money. In this third fight, it's probably going to make a heck of a lot more money. A whole lot more money. So again, I don't see him staying in boxing because who does he fight? He'll be so far back in the line to get a title. And at his age, I don't know. I mean, I guess he could be like Povetkin and fight into his 40s, but I highly doubt he will. He's already talked about that he wanted to get out of boxing and go into acting. But again, it goes like this too. It's not even conclusive that if Deontay Wilder beats Tyson Fury in the third fight, that he stays in boxing. He might retire after that and just ride off into the sun. I don't know. I really do not know if he's going to go for undisputed, one face, one name, like he said. I don't know. So time will tell, but to get back to the whole topic of this video of me ranting is this. I do not believe what Fi is saying. I don't believe it at all. I believe it's bullshit. I believe it's another excuse. And I have never, ever, ever, in my short time of watching boxing, my short lifespan of being around boxing and the short time in my short lifespan that I actually boxed, I've never seen a group of people come up with excuses so much over a loss. He lost. It is what it is. Just because a fighter loses to somebody doesn't mean they're worse than that fighter. It just means on that night they weren't the better man. The third fight will be the telltale tale of who the best one is. Is it going to be Deontay Wilder or is it going to be Tyson Fury? I do not know. If I had to put money on it, I would not put money on Deontay Wilder, even though I do want him to win the third fight. So with that being said, I'm going to conclude this video with saying this. I find this statement BS because Deontay Wilder himself inadvertently already dismissed this pre-injury going into the fight when he spoke on his bicep injury after the fight. So, let me know what y'all think in the comment section. Do you agree with what I'm saying? Do you say, oh, no, he just wasn't trying to make excuses even though he's already made 1,000 excuses of why he lost? Or what do y'all think it is? Let me know. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you dislike this video, give it a thumbs down. If you really like this video, please subscribe to the channel because that is what helps me out the most. And when you sub to the channel, hit that notification bell. That way you can get updated when I drop the newest content like this.